VR headsets are racing to get smaller and smaller, and smart glasses are racing to get better and better tech.
Every few years, somebody invents something crazy that makes you totally reconsider what's possible. Like models that can play Go or generate hyper-realistic faces. And today, the mind-blowing discovery that's rocking everyone's world is a type of neural network called a transformer.
Being able to talk to a computer and not have to talk with specific keywords to make it work, and then also being able to be multimodal and analyze stuff around you.
Okay, welcome Phil, and take it away.
Thank you, Daniel. Thanks, Bob. All right, so I'm going to start us off with a look into the distant past. We are going all the way to ancient Samaria in southern Mesopotamia, where we are going to look at the first known written symbols. So what you see before you are imprints onto a clay tablet, and it was the first known instance of us to outsource and store information outside of our brains onto something physical. They weren't words, it was a notation. And in fact, this notation was used to account for excesses and debts of harvest. When I see that, I see something strikingly familiar. And though our technology has advanced vastly, we're still essentially taking information and representing it elsewhere. So although the data streams are now dynamic and they can be easily recalled from multiple devices, the information is still represented on a flat, rectangular, tablet-like surface with information that is abstracted in symbols, charts, and notation. A call out to advertising, we do a similar thing in advertising. If we look at this bronze plate down on the bottom right here from the Song Dynasty in China, this is for a needling shop. And above we have a modern alteration webpage. And so we see images and text interlaced with one another, confined to an aspect ratio within a rectangular quadrant. So a digital world is still colloquially referred to as a separate place than the physical world. And this is heard in our language. People say that they are going online, or sometimes people joke that they are interneting. My wife will occasionally say to me that she's in phone land and not to be disturbed. So a phone or a laptop is therefore a portal into a place that is somehow separate from our own physical reality that we occupy. So that was the past, starting with the ancient and going up to the more current. Where are we right now? Well, we're going to talk about two forces that are really setting the stage for where we are today and where we're going into 2024 and beyond. The first is chatbots and GPTs. And so for those of you who don't know, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It was really discovered or invented, however you want to say it, back in 2017 when researchers at Google published a paper called Attention is All You Need. Since then, there was an explosion of chatbots, both open source, proprietary information of these large language models. And if you haven't seen Google Gemini yet, that is the latest one to hit the scene, and it's very cool stuff. So what I would like to argue on this slide is that the discovery or the invention of the transformer is not unlike the discovery or the invention of refrigeration. It is a fundamental technology, but it's really going to be the commercial application that is going to transform the landscape as we know it. And so before refrigeration was invented, humans couldn't occupy certain areas of the planet comfortably without air conditioning. Or we couldn't transport food across wide distances using cold storage. And so while refrigeration was very cool and novel at the time, the commercial applications really rewrote the social contract for all of humanity. And I would like to argue that the transformer is going to do the same thing. So we have transformers, and the other piece that is really going to drive forward this innovation into 2024 is going to be these mixed and augmented devices. Just a note on industry terminology, we used to say augmented reality, we're moving towards saying mixed reality. They refer to the same thing. It's more of a marketing term. So the limitations of screens. Screens have been our portal into the digital world for many years. They've been the cornerstone of this information age, but their limitations are becoming increasingly evident. We have over-reliance on screens. It can lead to cognitive overload, disengagement from the physical world, and just overstimulation overall. And so users are seeking something a little bit more immersive, a little bit more seamless, that will allow them to interact with information, particularly some of that unstructured data that Bob was talking about, beyond the confines of a screen. And so here we are in 2023, going into 2024 with some mixed reality devices. Just to call out in the bottom left, we have the Google Glass prototype over a decade ago, for those of you who remember that. Little bit ahead of its time. But here we have on the right-hand side, the Apple Vision Pro on the top and the Meta Smart Glasses beneath that. So where are we all headed with all of this? We have the power of the transformer and these mixed augmented devices coming together, and we have the backdrop of tablets and information within a square, with a long, long history leading up to this. So what we're going to start to see the emergence of are this notion of a digital agent. It is like something like a chat GPT, but imagine being able to speak with it verbally in text to speech or speech to text. It will be seamlessly integrated into your environment. It will be able to act on your behalf, and it will be contextually aware to you and who you are. Right now, ChatGPT can't be aware of your Google Calendar or where you were yesterday or where you'll be tomorrow. But imagine these digital agents having that sort of context. So I'd like to put forth an interesting proposition, because these two devices, the Meta Smart Glasses and the Humane AI Pin, are both sort of pointing in this direction. Neither of these have a screen. So we're totally beyond the notion of aspect ratios, let alone anything that is visualized. So the proposition here is they know where you are, they can see what you see, and you can speak to them in natural language. So imagine a world where you're wearing one of these smart glasses or these AI pins, and you say, "Where did I leave my keys?" And it will be able to tell you they're in your bedside drawer. And there's no app for this. There's no additional code that needs to be written. There's no Apple AirTag or Tile or pinging the device. It just happens because this device has seen with a camera where you last left your keys, is able to put structure to that unstructured information, and is able to categorize it. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have these devices that do have screens, and they're able to interlay information over the physical world. So right now, if you want to know what the weather is, what do? You typically open your phone, open an app, maybe you glance at the home screen. There's some sort of interaction. Imagine, though, looking outside of your window and just looking up at the sky, and superimposed on the sky is information about the current temperature and some sort of visual indicator as to whether or not you need to bring an umbrella. Or you could look at your car to see how much gas is in it, or even visualizing email in a total novel way. So these two types of devices, though appearing to be diametrically opposed right now, are actually going to start converging together as we move forward. So the smart glasses on the right will start to become more and more powerful, maybe even add a screen to them, while the devices on the left will bulkier, will become sleeker and slimmer until they start to resemble more so just a regular pair of glasses. So where's this all headed? Well, it's headed to blurring the line between digital and physical. We're headed to an awesome new world where users will be able to seamlessly blend those two things, and the traditional boundaries of virtual and real world will perhaps start to become meaningless. There'll be tons of opportunities from healthcare to education. They'll revolutionize how we learn, work, entertain, shop, market. Companies that embrace and innovate with this paradigm shift will have an edge in the years to come. And I will leave you with this. We're no longer going to be confined to a world where information is represented in abstract symbols on a 2D slate. We've been doing it for thousands of years, and we're finally at the precipice where that is all about to change. We're moving into true multimodal communication with mixed reality and the power of the transformer backing it. So 2024 is going to be a start in a sea shift that sees the screen show its age as our preeminent window into this very, very deeply connected world. Thank you.